Hello and welcome to Pest in Class, expert voices in pest management. Today I spoke with Thomas Harris, CEO of Uinta Pest Solutions. As a young entrepreneur, Thomas has made a name for himself in the industry. Today he gives us a firsthand account on how networking, conferences, and community have enabled him to lift his brand to what it is today. I'm your host, Amanda Salvatore. Let's get into it. Thomas Harris, you are the CEO of Uinta Pest Solutions, and today we're going to be discussing how networking can change your business. Welcome to Pest in Class.
Thank you for having me here. I'm super excited to be here. I love this topic and just super excited to connect with more people in the industry.
We always like to start with an icebreaker here on Pest in Class. So, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
I would love to go to Croatia. It was our COVID trip that never happened. I would love to see the west coast of Croatia. And then as that's more Italian, and then the eastern area of Zagreb would be more Russian. And so it would be a little bit Soviet and then a little bit of Europe and all in one beautiful country. And it's where Game of Thrones was filmed.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so all the castle scenes, all the dark nights and the mystic rain and stuff is all in Croatia.
Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, that's gonna be an incredible trip. Do you have plans on going anytime soon?
Yeah, so we're looking at like late September of 2027 or like maybe March or September of 27.
Yeah, March is a good time to travel, except if there's a global pandemic.
Yes.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed.
Yes.
So, how did you find yourself here in the pest control industry?
Yeah, so I was managing a restaurant in Atlanta, Georgia, and the annoying bug guy every month would offer me a job, always tell me that they want young hustle people that like could sell slash service. And I was like, nah, man, I love the restaurant industry. And then I got tired of getting home at 3:30, 4 a.m. And so one day I took him up on the job and took him 2 years of recruiting me to finally say yes. And I accepted a job in Atlanta, Georgia. On my first day in the office, they had a sign that said a $10,000 move, like that they'll move us, my family, to Utah and they'll help pay up to $10,000 of expenses. So we sold everything, packed the car up, and headed out west. And I didn't even own a jacket when I moved to Utah. It is freezing all the time in Utah in the winter. And now I own about 20 jackets and I love it.
So, you made your way from Atlanta to Utah. You're working for Terminix. You're working there for a couple of years. And then you get this idea of starting your own business. What was the moment that you thought to yourself, yeah, I can do this?
I just think with a customer service background, like when you work in a restaurant, I highly recommend every young person to work in a restaurant. You'll never learn so much good, bad things about life than dealing with angry people that are hungry. And so if you can deal with that customer, then you can deal with anybody in the world. And so then it's just learning how to tech, learning how to like buy chemicals and like figuring out the software. But like at the core, pest control is just customer service. Yes, we kill bugs. Yes, we manage cash flow and humans and vehicles and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just customer service. So I knew I always could do customer service. I just had to figure out the other logistics behind starting.
So when you started Uinta, what did the first year look like to you? How did it feel?
Chaos. Uh,
Yeah.
one word, chaos. But I would say that's when you like when you go to the Viserys's or the Targets or you get on Facebook and join different groups and you realize that hold up, there's a lot of bug guys out there. There's a lot of us that are pretty good at bugs, might not be customer service, or you just learn that the industry is massive. It's in every state, it's in all over the world. Like you can connect with people to learn how to do the job or learn how to manage the business. And so it really hit me in my first year on my own, like, wow, this industry is so huge.
Yeah, the community is really expansive, and the industry as a whole is really expansive. Yet sometimes it does feel like a very small community. So I know in 2022 you went to Pest World for the first time. And this is a huge networking event. So how did it change your business and your trajectory?
Yeah, so I went to Pest World my first year in business, and I still just one guy in a truck answering on an iPhone how to schedule people, like just doing everything myself. And then I realized in Pest World that A, this industry, there's a lot of money in it. B, I don't have any of the money in it. There's a lot of money in this industry, and it's like, wow, like there's systems and there's phones and there's just all this software to help you, but also, like, there's a lot of people that are one-man shows. There's a lot of two-man shows. There's $5 million companies. There's 10, 20, and so on, so on. I think the realization in Boston of like, wow, I can actually do something with my life in this industry that's a lot more than just a guy in a truck. That realization right then and there in Boston, I'll never forget it.
What do you think makes conferences and networking so important?
I think as an owner, sometimes you live in your head, think it's only you, which in your company, you can't always share every detail with every employee. Every employee takes different details differently. And so when you're there as an owner connecting with another owner, there's a common, wow, I've sat in that seat, or man, I hope to sit in that guy's seat one day. But at least we are in the same seats. And I think that's just for your mental health is huge. I think another reason to go to conferences or network is also to see what's out there. Sometimes we just stay in our lane, do what we know what we're doing, and you don't realize that there's a new, better way to do things. The world's constantly changing. There's always something new out there. So anytime you get to connect with industry leaders or take a class on a new technique to treat something, you might find is hopefully easier, hopefully same good results, and also maybe not as labor intrusive sometimes. And you can really like up your customer service because it always goes back to the customer. So if there's a new, better way to do something, you're better serving your customer base, which sets you apart from your competition.
There's so much new information coming out every year that it's hard to keep up. So, making sure you're connecting with and keeping your finger on the pulse of what's going on is really, really important. When you are going to a conference, do you have any specific strategies, especially starting out?
I have three goals. I use the Notes app on my iPhone. So every conference, I try to find somebody who's the same size as me. That way I have somebody that might be going through the same struggles as me. And then that, like, we really connect. Like, that's a buddy, that's somebody the same size as me. The second goal is find somebody a little bit bigger than me down the road of where I'm traveling. We're all on a journey, we're all on the road, and then trying to pick his brain or her brain, go to lunch, ask them if you can go grab a drink with them, and really like pick their brain of like, okay, when do you get health insurance? When do you get vehicle loans in the commercial? How do you even get a commercial loan with no credit in your business? What software are you using? What new software? What software did you get at X amount of revenue? And because it's all about levers in the business, we're always pulling which lever. So having somebody to know which lever to press at 1.2 or 1.5 or 2.8 million, having those levers and knowing about them so you don't have to stumble in the dark is huge. I think the last thing is try to find somebody where you used to be. That way you can give it back. I think if you do those three things, find somebody that's the same size as you, find somebody where you're going so you could take from him or take his knowledge, and then also in the flip side, find somebody that used to be like you. That way you could take the knowledge that you've gained and give it back. If you do those three things, you should have a great conference.
Thomas, that is such great advice. Really looking at it in these three specific tiers, if you will. learning from someone who has a business that you would like to have one day. Let's set that foundation. Let me find someone then who is similar to me. We're in the same boat. They're learning. I'm learning. We have something mutual that we can help each other on. Someone to call and commiserate with what's going on with your company right now. And then paying it forward, which is, I think, maybe the most rewarding part. I think it's human nature to want to help people, and it feels good to help people and to be in that kind of a position. It must be really empowering.
Yeah, it's crazy that like people like would ask me for advice because I feel like every day it's like I have no idea what we're doing. Don't ask me what's for dinner. I have no idea. And then you look back and you get to look over the years and it's like, wow, look at this growth. Like, oh my gosh. Or, oh my gosh, people will rely on me for their paychecks. Like, people trust me to come work for me. Like, I've had all those like fears or like why or like I think we're all in that same boat together. And I love giving back. I miss when it was just me in a truck and I got Sally, the customer, calling me, and I have no idea how to schedule on the fly. I just know I can be there. And so I look fondly back when I had no idea what I was doing at Uinta. At least like the first year was just chaos, pure chaos, and it was so much fun. It was the time of my life.
Yeah, there's something about the beginning of something, that
Hmm.
excitement, the unknown. There is a lot of stress that goes with that, but there's also this energy that it's new, it's exciting, and it's all up to you. So, that energy, I can see that you would miss that, but also find ways of kind of rekindling that through mentorship.
Yes. And hearing those stories, it just brings back like the smiles. Like I know we're on a podcast, but I am grinning ear to ear right now. Just remembering the like thrill of the phone ringing. And it's like, wow, like people found me on the internet. I don't even know how the internet really works. And I still don't. We just pay the marketing, but like it works. Like you know what I mean? But like that idea that it's like I'm gonna provide for my family with my own hands or my own sweat and like man, that at its core is what we're all doing, no matter what size we are as a business. So that's the best part.
Yeah, man, it's all about the hustle. So I'd love to know if there are maybe two or three specific tangible ways that networking has directly reshaped your business.
In quarter three of 2025, we were able to execute over $100,000 worth of work that was referred to us via like an app called Baton or a software program called Baton. Give them a shout out. We have a bedbug heat machine and we specialize in bed bugs. And one of our biggest bids came from another company. They referred us to this nursing home. They had about 60 units with bed bugs, and we were able to execute the transaction. And it took us a whole month of every day being there, but we generate upwards of 15 to $20,000 per month in referral work from other pest control companies.
So, just so I understand, these referrals are coming to you through people you've connected with, through
Yeah.
other
Yep.
companies who might not be able to facilitate those types of services. Is that correct?
Yes. So business to business referrals are awesome for us. I canvas instead of door knocking random people's houses. I door knock other pest control companies asking them for their work. And there's an app called Baton that will pay you to send referrals. And so yes. So anybody out there looking to specialize in wildlife or termite, or if there's something that you do that other companies don't do, I would highly recommend using their Google budgets, using their sales reps to go find you the work. That way you just do what you do great. So we really work on that.
So it sounds like you're learning so many different things that you can bring back to your business once you're home from these conferences. So, is there anyone in your life that you met through this network who's really been a mentor or has helped kind of shape you into?
Yeah, so the name that comes to my head there's is Dusty George. He's out of Arkansas. He's actually come to my house, did a ride along, got to see how my company operates, and then gave me some pointers and like just let me know that like he built his company in 40 years and year three you're not as well oiled as year 40. So just keep plugging away, look at a couple of these different avenues to grow your company and we've implemented a couple of those and it's really helped the growth of 2025.
What is one specific thing that you implemented that Dusty suggested that you think people should really consider?
Following up with past leads, having a dedicated time. If you're going to say on Monday and Thursdays, this is what we do at UNT. On Monday and Thursdays, we follow up with past leads that are just open. On Monday, we focus on leads that came Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, making sure if somebody called and wanted a quote or called and said, "Oh, I have to talk to my husband," that we reach back out to them on Mondays. Every phone call gets listened to, and then on Monday we go back out and try to get those. And then Thursday, what we do is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we reach back out on Thursday. It's helped our close percentage. We went from 68 to 78. And 10%, if you close an extra 10% of your leads, that'll be huge.
That's great advice. That's great advice. I want to talk about starting a business at 27. It is a massive undertaking. I know you utilize this network, you utilize community, you're utilizing these conferences. It requires a lot of dedication. So, when you encounter members of an older generation who feel that your cohorts lack this strong work ethic, how do you respond?
Just smile and nod, smile and nod. Every problem in society is definitely a millennial or Gen Z. Like we broke everything. Everything's our fault. So you just smile and nod, and then what you do is you realize that like the previous generation, the lessons and the knowledge that they have can be applied in 2025 or 2026. We just might have to modify it to fit the growing times. Not a lot of people and the baby boomers like promote on TikTok. That concept of a short video didn't really work on the yellow pages. Everybody had to be AA. That's why there's so many companies with AA so that they could be first in the phone book. And so it's like speed to lead is still valuable, but speed to lead has changed from putting my name as AA Pest Control to answering the phone or responding to text messages or having a phone tree that can be answered by multiple people so the owner can go on vacation. You have to take their lessons that they learned, their knowledge, decipher it, and really like apply it to how we operate as a business in 2025.
Do you think when you're networking with an older generation, you are learning something, but are you able to, do you feel like you're able to bestow some knowledge to them as well, that symbiotic relationship?
I think any young entrepreneur should try to find an old entrepreneur to mentor from, because I also think that like to think, wow, was this me 30 years ago? Was this me being annoying on the golf course or me not picking up the check at the lunch? Like, oh, I'm too young to pick it up or something, like, was that like them 30 years ago or 20 years ago? Or, you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's definitely a phase of life that everybody wonders, man, would this be me if I had to start a business today?
So, when you are maybe giving advice to a new entrepreneur about networking, about getting out there, about getting this exposure, what would you tell them about networking and creating community? Where do they find it?
It's everywhere. There's chambers of commerces, there's BNI groups, there's Facebook groups, it feels like there's groups everywhere. Local cities, some have grants to new business or new entrepreneurs. Go to your city council meeting, go to the city hall, and they'll have like different business classes that you can take that are free, that are resources in the community. And then normally the teacher knows of networking events, real estate people. I'm in pest control. I love going to real estate meetups because everybody in that room has multiple homes. They all have bugs. They all have bugs. And it's like, well, I've already bought my house. I do have a couple rental properties, but it's like, yeah, everybody in that room has multiple homes. That's their fix and flips, or they're gonna run into termite damage. They need a bug guy. This past week, I found somebody in a Facebook real estate meetup that I attend once a month. He posted on Facebook, and that relationship took 2 years to cultivate a sale. But there was a $1,400 sale that I was able to get and execute because I was on Facebook, because I went to real estate meetups, and the sale was super easy. We got it, and yeah, bugs are everywhere.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I think pest control is a one of those businesses that once you kind of insert yourself into the community, you'll be able to find opportunities that they're everywhere. I know that with conferences specifically, that can kind of be overwhelming for a new business owner. Which ones do I choose? Where do I go? And it's really hard sometimes when you're starting out to get away from the business for a few days and jump into these events. So, what's your strategy about finding different networking events and making sure that you have the opportunity to go, but also, you're still able to be at your home base?
I recommend every owner to get away. Just go because you will always be busy. There's always something we could be doing for work. There's always something you could pull up an iPad and put in a cell or pull a report. So don't use work as an excuse of why you can't go, first and foremost, because you'll always be busy. Second, I would say like look up your state. I live in Utah, so we have Utah Pest Management Association. Every state should have an organization. You have your national pest world. And then FieldRoutes has a technology conference. So out of those three, those are the three buckets normally that I look for, and I take a barometer of what my company would need. This year we're going to go to Pest World in 2026. We haven't been since 24. So it's like, okay, we haven't been in a couple of years. What new software or maybe new traps, what is the new cutting edge? What are these battery pack B&Gs? Are they really that good? Let's go to Pest World. Let's talk to other owners about them. I want to see what's out there. I want to see where it is. Dallas is easy to get to. It's an easy hub for Utah. American, Southwest both fly there, so it's like easy for us to get in and out of. I would look at that. October's a busy month, so that it's always going to be busy, so can't use that excuse.
Thomas, this has been an incredible conversation. There's so much great advice. Is there anything before we finish? Is there anything you wish that we did cover today?
No, just how much fun it is connecting with other pest control owners. Like, we're not allowed to talk Friday night at dinner with our friends about our nasty jobs. Nobody wants to hear us. They just want to know if you had a good day or a bad day. So, like, when you get to connect and network with other owners, we all have stories. And we can actually share them with each other because we're in the same business. So it's so much fun.
I love that. Thank you, Thomas Harris, for coming on to Pest in Class.